We're going to turn to our international affairs editor, Doug Herbert, who joins me on set now. Doug, we're going to pick up also where Jessica left off. She mentioned this talk of a ceasefire. Where does this speech by Netanyahu leave efforts for a cease in hostilities?
In tatters. I'm not saying that lightly or glibly. Look, it doesn't take much parsing of his speech and his words to read between the lines. The lines are right there. This was a speech, world leaders, the context is obviously in recent days, world leaders have been urging, and that's a mild word, urging Israel and Hezbollah, and beyond that, Israel and Hamas, to find a way to bridge their differences and to accept a 21-day ceasefire. A ceasefire in the exchanges between Israel and Lebanon and the bombing campaign, a ferocious bombing campaign by Israel, one of the most fiercest ones in recent military history, really, to try to have a pause in that fighting, a 3-week pause. And some of the reporting about those efforts to try to call upon Israel, to try to call upon the Lebanese to pause that fighting, have used the term Netanyahu hasn't really responded. He's given mixed signals, suggesting he might be pouring cold water on those efforts. There's no mixed signals in what we heard today. Today we heard, as Jessica just very well summed up, a defiant, angry, at times very bellicose man who sees the world through a very starkly divided prism of evil, good and evil, in which Israel stands on the side of all that's good and right and prosperous, and Iran is the curse. The Iran's influence on the region and the world beyond is the curse. This was a man whose contempt for the UN was also clear, not because I'm saying it, but because he himself used the words. He said a once respectable institution is now contemptible in the eyes of many in the world. He has nothing but scorn for the UN. He wasn't even intending to come and speak, he said at the beginning. The reason he decided to come, to grace the members of the world with his presence at the podium was because he wanted to set the record straight about the, quote, lies and slander directed against, leveled at Israel. And that is the framework in which this entire speech was given. So anyone standing on the sidelines now and saying, well, Netanyahu's been giving mixed signals about, blowing hot and cold, whether he'll ultimately accept the ceasefire, he made it extremely clear in this speech today what his intentions are, and that not only does he intend to fight with full force, as he said in recent days, but he intends to do so with an absolutely clear conscience. Because, like I said, he laid it out in stark terms of good versus evil. He is on the side. Anyone who dares to criticize him or his conduct of this war is on the side of evil. There is no daylight between those positions. So I would take away the mixed signals right now. Obviously, this is the Mideast. Things are unpredictable. Things change on a dime. Pressure could be brought to bear on him from certain outside forces or his government. He could tactically about face. But from this speech today, it seems like that ceasefire is essentially DOA, dead on arrival, not going to happen. Could it be repackaged, presented in a new way, and perhaps there'll be something of a shorter duration? Maybe. But as of today, after that speech, it's fair to say that Israel is more in a military war footing and probably going towards a ground invasion at some point in the near future.
All right, Doug Herbert, our international affairs editor, thank you for your take on that.